Philadelphia, a city known for its foods, its history, its lively culture. But there's something else that Philly is known for. Fighting. Philadelphia is a fighting city, home to great fighters from all walks of life like Joe Frazier, Bernard Hopkins, and Danny Garcia. Philadelphia is a city that has raised some of the greatest fighters from all over Philly. Whether you are privileged enough to live in nice houses with both your parents or live in poverty, where violence is a normal day-to-day thing. Philadelphia, we ain't like them other places with nice and clean gyms. Our gyms may not be pretty, may not have nice shiny walls and clean floors, but they work, man. You go into a Philly gym and you see it's different from any other gym in the world. It's real hard work, with real blood, and with real sweat, and real tears. When you spar, man, you fight hard, just like you in there with a professional fighter in a professional ring. Cause that's how we are, man. We fight. It's what we do.
Joe Frazier's very good. Can't go wrong with Joe Frazier. Big left hook, powerful.
The Philadelphia fighter first became prominent in the 1960s and 70s, with Joe Frazier becoming the heavyweight champion of the world. He was the next great champion after Muhammad Ali was stripped of his titles for using the fight in Vietnam. Joe was able to keep the division alive while Ali fought his court battle. Frazier united the titles and became a knockout machine, mowing everyone down in his path, including Muhammad Ali, winning a 12-round unanimous decision over him. This all ended, however, when he came across the hardest puncher in the heavyweight history, George Foreman, who knocked out Frazier in the second round. This man inspired many young kids in Philadelphia to take up the gloves and try to be like the great Joe Frazier and win the heavyweight championship of the world. But the term and definition really came in 1976, when the first Rocky film exploded onto the scene, showing the struggles of a Philadelphia fighter making it to the top, who got a lucky title shot and had to work hard to succeed and win. This film, although not real, helped portray boxing as a sport that helps transform people's lives instead of just a purebred blood sport for our greedy minds. This film helped inspire many kids to grow up and lace up the gloves like many future world champions, like Evander Holyfield, Mike Tyson, etc., etc.
Bernard Hopkins. Brutal, intense, relentless. Even though he's older, but he is the epitome of a Philly fighter. Samurai. Oh!
Another big moment for us Philadelphia fighters was Bernard Hopkins, a former criminal who turned his misfortune completely around and became the first undisputed middleweight champion since the legendary Marvin Hagler. But before that, he was in high-level fights with fellow Hall of Famers such as Felix Trinidad, knocking him out in 2001, a few weeks after the 9/11 attacks, and the pay-per-view king, Oscar de la Hoya, knocking him out in the 9th round in 2004. After losing his title in 2 back-to-back defeats against Jermaine Taylor, instead of retiring at the age of 42, Hopkins moved up 2 weight classes to the light heavyweight division and beat opponents that were almost half his age and won many titles up in the division, including against the new middleweight champion Kelly Pavlik at age 43, dominating his younger opponent with ease. He even fought the knockout machine from Russia, Sergey Kovalev, losing a 12-round decision, while many critics believed he'd be knocked out by the young and strong fighters, but his heart was there to lead him through it. He was an inspiration to all Philly fighters, and still is to this day, for fighting impressively up until he was 51 years old, only showing his age until his last fight against Joe Smith Jr., in which he was knocked out of the ring in the 8th round. Then there's a new kid on the block, Danny Garcia, who is 32-1 with 19 knockouts and is the former WBC welterweight champion, who trains and fights out of North Philadelphia. Before losing to Keith Thurman, Danny had an impressive resume with notable wins over Amir King Khan, Lucas Matisse, and Zab Judah. He was criticized in recent years for his lack of competitive fights, such as Rod Salka and Samuel Vargas. But no one could say he didn't earn it all. Growing up in the Badlands in North Philly, Danny had a questionable trainer, Angel Garcia, his father. Him and his father fought plenty of wars and won plenty of titles and money along the way. He has opened up a gym in Philadelphia called Danny Swift Garcia Gym, and he's opened up to train kids to get them off the streets, in the gym, and change their lives. Here in Philly, we're all fighters, even if we don't lace up the gloves. Because in this city, the only way to survive is to fight. Fight to survive and to thrive. If you want to make something of yourself in Philly, you have to fight to get to the top. And me, I am ready to fight.
Like RuPaul, I throw a screwball and strike out the MC. And if he tempts me, I knock him out like Jack Dempsey. I burn some Sensi, then chase it with the Guinness, the illest. Now hit me with the hook because I'm finished.